Southern California is on fire tonight. The numbers are incredible. More than 1,100 homes destroyed, 15 people killed, thousands of acres scorched. President Bush is declaring a major emergency, making way for federal dollars and more help. One of the fires is this huge blaze in Simi Valley, where officials say almost 100,000 acres have burned and 13 homes are gone. This is the fire officials say in a worst-case scenario could spread across L.A. County to Malibu, right to the shores of the Pacific Ocean. Let's look live now at that Simi Valley Fire. Some videotape of earlier of that fire burning. This is the fire that was, this is a live picture now, was being pushed by the Santa Ana winds and just consumed acre after acre in the Simi Valley, burned very close to the Ronald Reagan Library that is right there as well. And as you can see from these live pictures coming in from Southern California, it doesn't look like anything has changed on this Monday night. It is still an emergency tonight that even forced Monday Night Football out of California. Thanks for joining us here. I'm Ross Becker. Kathy Ray is off tonight. As we said, parts of California are burning, still out of control, and new tonight because of these fires. San Bernardino City School District is canceling classes tomorrow. Right now, there are 9 fires burning across Southern California, from Ventura County to Riverside, San Bernardino, and San Diego counties. The giant wildfires are forcing thousands of people from their homes. For them, it's another night in a shelter. Let's begin with reporter Kimberly Asias. She is showing us that fire in Simi Valley. It is tonight's top story.
President Bush has declared 4 California counties disaster areas, including Los Angeles County, where we are, and Ventura County to the west behind me. This, of course, paves the way for federal relief funds. In the meantime, firefighters continue to battle Santa Ana winds and extremely dry conditions.
I want to reiterate that this is still a very dynamic situation. Those winds can kick up very quickly and change the situation that we're facing.
At least 10 fires in all, the worst in 50 years. Thousands of firefighters deployed and still not enough to go around. Many are operating on little to no sleep. California resources stretched to the limit. Governor Davis has asked for federal assistance and help from neighboring Arizona and Nevada as well.
This is beyond belief. It's like a war zone. And my heart goes out to every family that lost a home.
In pockets across Southern California, homeowners grab whatever they can as they try to outrun the flames. It's a race against time and Mother Nature.
Let's go, man. Get your stuff and get out.
In San Diego County, courts, schools, and businesses closed. The flames make a broken wall stretching from south of San Diego to more than an hour's drive north of Los Angeles.
Twice as tall as a house, wall of fire. It came through. Winds were swirling.
Investigators believe arson is to blame in at least one of the fires in San Bernardino County. In Ventura County, the 118 freeway was closed. The major east-west artery was blocked by fire trucks and numerous smaller fires known as hotspots.
A blanket of ash just keeps falling down, relentless. 1,000 homes destroyed so far. The size of the fire, half of the state of Rhode Island. Reporting from Los Angeles County, Kimberly Asias, back to you.
Yeah, for the people there, it's heartbreaking. The fires, though, are forcing many people to change their travel plans, too. There is no official word from McCarran International Airport on just how many flights have been affected by delays and flight cancellations. At Southern California airports, Southwest Airlines says it canceled at least 152 flights in and out of Southern California from all over the nation. Passengers are trying to cope with all of the unexpected delays.
Yeah, it's pretty crowded. Everyone's standing in line. We missed our flight this morning, but everyone's in the same kind of predicament, and everyone's being really cool about it. So.
For its part, Southwest has announced it is waiving all penalties on ticket rebooking and offering refunds for travel to and from Southern California. Now, that offer applies for any travel from yesterday through Wednesday. You can also get real-time flight information on the airport's website, which is mccarran.com. Now, on the roads tonight, I-15 between Los Angeles and San Diego, it is open, but it could close again at any time. There are some other freeways in the San Diego area, though, that are shut down. This is some video earlier from San Diego, California. In that area, anyway, the California Highway Patrol says Interstate 8 is closed east of El Cajon to east of US 79, and US 79 in Santa Isabel is closed right now all the way to Interstate 8. CHP troopers say that these conditions, as we mentioned, they're subject to change. These fires keep moving, keep growing, As they have over the past few days, anything could change on those roads at any time. If you're heading to Southern California and need an update on your road conditions, there's a phone number you can jot down for the Highway Patrol's automated information line. The number there on the screen, 916-445-7623. And help is on the way from Arizona and Nevada as well to fight those fires. Right now, 6 firefighters from Lake Mead National Park are on their way to Piru. That's in the Los Padres National Forest near Santa Clarita. Lake Mead Fire Captain Kurt Kissinger says the crew is eager to help and ready to take on the challenge of helping save lives and homes. And their mission will be determined once they get there. Now, the captain says their only fear, their biggest enemy, arson.
Our biggest fear is you never know if anyone comes up behind you and light a fire below you. And with that, it has the hairs in the back of your head stand up there.
Yeah, the firefighters are going to work 16 hours a day for more than 2 weeks, carrying more than 50 pounds while battling intense heat and flames. The Lake Mead crew is set to return by Thanksgiving. As well as from Nevada, there's also help on the way from other states as well. These firefighters are lighting backfires, hoping to keep the flames from advancing. Now, according to fire officials in Oregon and Washington State, there are more than 150 firefighters on their way, including 5 air tankers and 6 more engines. Here in Las Vegas, at the Palms Resort, they have a water drive underway right now to help those affected by the Southern California fires. The resort is collecting bottled water. It says until that truck donated by Quality Transportation is filled. The Palms has already donated 1,000 cases of water. So to donate water, stop by the Palms Hotel Casino on Flamingo in Arville and just look for that truck. We're going to keep monitoring the latest from the fire lines tonight right here on Action News. We're going to have another update in this broadcast. And, of course, we will update you live tonight on Action News at 11 o'clock. Other news today, now, emotional testimony as the sentencing phase of the trial began for Pasquale Lozano. He was convicted of killing a 9-year-old girl during a gang gunfight. And now a jury will decide if he will live or die. Genesis Gonzalez was killed last December while trying to protect a neighbor baby from the gunfire at her house. Today, Genesis's mother and sister asked for justice from the jury, but they never asked for the death penalty. In fact, Tanya Gonzalez had a message of compassion for the man who killed her sister.
I don't hate you because I only know how to give love to everybody. God bless you, and remember that you will always be in my good prayers.
It was also a tearful day for the relatives of Pasquale Lozano. They begged the jury to save his life and talked of his soft heart for his nieces and nephews. The testimony wraps up tomorrow afternoon, and then the jury is going to have to make that tough decision. And now we know the name of the guy who pulled off a dangerous carjacking spree last Friday morning. He killed a police dog, and then he killed himself. Police now say they are investigating whether 23-year-old Daniel Nunez was on drugs and whether the gun he killed himself with belonged to him or a tribal officer he's accused of carjacking. The Radio Music Awards show is underway tonight at the Aladdin, right here in Las Vegas. They're hoping to capitalize on the celebrity spotlight. That's where the culinary union organizers took their message tonight for workers' rights. Christina Brown joins us from the Aladdin right now with the story.
The music stars may be inside, but it's the union show outside the Aladdin that's taken center stage. Aladdin workers shout for change.
No peace! No peace!
They say they want a union contract. Some fear they'll lose their jobs once ownership of the Aladdin changes hands.
Well, when the new company comes in, they don't have any promises to us to keep us more than the legal 90-day limit. So we have no assurances that we're going to be here on the 91st day after they take over.
When you have an organization, when you're fighting corporate greed and people that don't want to recognize your proper rights to unionize and to organize labor, you really have to make the attention and get the attention however is best. And
some protesters have accused Aladdin officials of harassment, but say they'll still march for change. Demonstrators threaten more protests like these. They want Aladdin officials to focus on workers' rights and job security. From the Las Vegas Boulevard, Christina Brown, Channel 13 Action News.
A lot going on tonight, as we told you at the top of this broadcast. Tonight's game was moved to Arizona because of the fires. Ahead, Dennis is going to have highlights from the game coming up. That's coming up in just a few minutes in sports. And we certainly all know the voice. Tonight, the star of The Price is Right is dead. We'll have details coming up.
Nate Tannenbaum at the Weather Center. An amazing picture from outer space as smoke from the California wildfires heads out over the Pacific Ocean. And a chilling Halloween forecast for you, literally coming up on this special Monday Night Football edition of Action Weather.
And again, live pictures, incredible live pictures from Southern California right now, Simi Valley, California. That fire is relentless, pushed by those Santa Ana winds. We'll have an update here on this special edition of Action News. He was the man with that unmistakable voice who announced the phrase, "Come on down." Tonight, Roddy, the voice of The Price is Right, is dead. Roddy had been in the hospital for the past 2 months. The 66-year-old underwent surgery in 2001 for colon cancer. Roddy also had a breast removed because of breast cancer.
Now, Nate Tannenbaum with Channel 13 Action Weather.
Oh, boy, more incredible pictures. These from the area north and west of Los Angeles in the Simi Valley. California on fire. No expected date of bringing these fires under control. Just amazing pictures. The Santa Ana winds dying down a little bit during the nighttime hours, but during the daylight, they whip up to 50 to 70 miles an hour. As far as the eye can see, California's on fire. We're keeping an eye on it for you here on Action News. Meantime, a little bit of a bumpy ride there as our stratosphere camera is looking down. I imagine the old big shot ride's going off because the wind is not much of a factor. Take a look at your 9 o'clock numbers here on our special Monday Night Football edition of Action News. We are right at the 70-degree mark. Humidity is at 28%. There's a little breeze from the south at 7. Barometer holding steady, 30.02. And how about some other temperatures in the neighborhoods like Spring Valley? Guys are already in the 60s, low 70s for Summerlin and North Las Vegas. And on the other side of town, looks like the upper 60s for Nellis, the low 70s for downtown and Henderson. It's going to be a chilly one, but the chilliest is yet to come. Mount Charleston hanging in there, 57 just a few hours ago, 52 right now. Struggling to be near 90 in Laughlin for the high temperature now, the upper 70s, just the 60s and 70s all over. Now, the high temperature today was almost 10 degrees above normal, not much of a threat to the record. The low this morning, 56, but by the time we get to Friday, Halloween, it's appearing that the daytime high temperature is going to be more like 10 degrees below normal. So here we are 10 degrees above, and then we'll slowly drop upwards of 20 degrees on our daytime high temperature. On our satellite picture in the western radar, there's not a whole lot of rain being picked up maybe over parts of Idaho and Colorado. For the most part, we're just watching high cloudiness on top of us. And then as the days go by this week, cooler air is going to work its way on in here and really push these warm temperatures out and bring below normal temperatures in. Let's start with the rest of tonight. Kind of a cool one, and a few clouds around 57 when you get up and at 'em in the morning. You might want a sweater or a jacket for the kids. Tomorrow, really a very nice day. The record high for tomorrow is 91. Again, the normal high for this time of year is the mid-70s, so we're going to be above normal. And the north wind may be to 15 miles an hour. I know it's only Monday, but we always give you a look ahead to the weekend. And you'll watch as these temperatures are going to drop in our 7-day forecast. There's 84 tomorrow, 83 on Wednesday, and breezes to 25. Then a 10-degree drop on Thursday. Into the 60s for Halloween on Friday. The mid-60s for daytime highs on Saturday and Sunday. And those overnight lows are going to be in the mid-40s on Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, and Monday night. And that's your 7-day forecast.
Now, Dennis Evans with Channel 13 Action Sports.
Hello, it's San Diego and Miami playing Monday Night Football down in Tempe, Arizona. The wildfires of California forced to move. Free tickets, yeah, that's one way to guarantee a full house on short notice. You get the feeling it didn't matter where they play this one. Rough start for Drew Brees, and the Chargers picked off in his first 2 drives. This one returned all the way down to about the 7-yard line. The Dolphins would cash in. It's going to be Brian Greasy. His first pass for the Dolphins goes in for a touchdown. A little bit later with 17-3 Miami. Chargers driving, and what do you know? Brees again tosses an interception. Again, it's Patrick Surtain. The Dolphins would add another touchdown before the half, and this one was never even close. Miami wins the final 26-10. All right, it's time now for our hard hit of the week. Cards and Niners. Jeff Garcia drops back to pass. Hits Jed Weaver, and Jed Weaver gets a lock. That, really looks like it hurt. All right. As part of our hard hit, we're giving away a new Dodge truck Here is how you win. Head out to Desert Dodge. It's on West Sahara. Fill out an entry form, or you can head to our website, KTNV.com. Each week, we're going to pick 2 names to qualify to win the truck at the end of the season. Here are this week's winners. It's Richard Davis and Deborah Chahawk. That's Chahawk. You guys have a chance to win later on this year. All right, so where do the Rebels go from here? Certainly not any lower in the Mountain West standings. With just 4 games left on the conference schedule, the Rebels, well, they are resting comfortably in the conference cellar. Hard to believe their 4-1 start has turned into this mess. The Rebels' overtime loss to BYU on Saturday. It was their 3rd defeat in a row and their 3rd straight in the Mountain West. The team is sitting at 4-4 for the moment, with a tough road game at New Mexico coming up. The Rebels, well, they don't have much time to focus on the past.
And we're not very good on offense. There's no question we're struggling and trying to find answers. We need to do better than we're doing, and we're trying.
We should have won that game. That's the game we definitely should have won. It's over with now. I know we just have to pick up from here.
Cool. Much more on the Rebels' loss coming up a little bit later on in sports. Thanks. All right.
And when we come back with you, a baggage handler at a major airline had quite a scare when opening up that cargo hold. A gator out of its cage. Also, we're going to check back in with the fires. More live pictures now from Simi Valley, California. Even when the sun goes down, the fires keep burning. And we'll give you an update on Action News coming up in a minute. A Canadian company is recalling some pet food after several dogs died in California and more than a dozen other animals became sick. Petcurian Pet Nutrition is recalling all of its Go Natural pet food products after receiving reports of illnesses in animals that ate that food. The Canadian company says it has heard of 14 dogs and cats in California falling ill, with 7 of them dying. Now, a spokesman said the company is looking at one particular batch produced at a Texas plant may be responsible for the illnesses. If you have any questions about this recall, the number's on your screen. Petcurian is a toll-free number at 866-864-6112, extension 104. And Meridet, is a popular credit counseling firm. Tonight, it says it's going to stop advertising. It's no longer taking on any new customers. Meridet says that starting November 1st, the company will concentrate on helping its current 92,000 customers solve their debt problems. The decision comes as state and federal law enforcement officials have stepped up their scrutiny of credit counseling firms and Meridet in particular. They're concerned that many of these nonprofit organizations engage in deceptive and fraudulent business practices by charging high fees, claiming their fees are voluntary, and paying their executives excessively high salaries. There's another bogus email going around, and it may frighten some women. It says that your lipstick could cause cancer. This email has been circulating. It claims some popular brands of lipstick contain lead, which can cause cancer, but the email is a hoax. Lead can cause lead poisoning. It does not necessarily cause cancer, but more importantly, lipstick doesn't contain lead. Don't worry, just delete any email you get like this. People fed up with high prices for printer cartridges are taking up the cause, and they are taking a printer company to court. According to PCWorld.com, a lawsuit filed Friday in Texas claims some models of Epson inkjet cartridges block Epson printers from working, even though there is substantial ink still in the cartridge. The lawsuit asks the judge to order Epson to notify customers that replacement cartridges may still be usable, even when Epson's equipment says they're spent. In addition, the lawsuit asks Epson to compensate customers who discard the usable cartridges. An Epson spokesperson is calling the lawsuit unfounded. And many online shoppers are used to doing it tax-free, but how long will that last? A 5-year ban on internet taxes expires at the end of this week, but there's a push in the U.S. Senate to make that ban permanent. Some lawmakers say the internet tax ban was proposed to help internet shopping take off, but now that internet companies compete more and more with real stores, it needs to compete like any other industry, they say. Supporters of the ban on internet taxes say there's no proof that state and local governments have been hurt by this. Well, 4 boys were found starving in New Jersey, and now the governor is questioning the state's child welfare system. We're going to have that story for you. And rescuers in Russia are trying to save 13 miners trapped underground. Those stories and more right after the break. world tonight. Terrorism in Iraq. 40 people were killed today in 2 suicide attacks in Baghdad. The bombers hit the Red Cross headquarters and a police station in Baghdad within 45 minutes of each other. A spokesman for the Red Cross says it will be decided within the next couple of days whether or not to pull back its presence there. Rescuers in Russia are trying to reach 13 miners who've been trapped for 4 days now. Teams trying to reach those miners are tunneling in a flood shaft. Emergency officials think there's a good chance those men are still alive if they've reached an air pocket. They became trapped after water from an underground lake leaked into the shaft above them. The trial for accused Washington, D.C. sniper John Muhammad was back in session today. Now, on the witness stand, a cousin of Muhammad told the jury Muhammad asked her for bullets during a visit to his house in Louisiana last year. Charlene Anderson also told the court that accused sniper Lee Malvo was also with him there. Anderson says she asked the pair to leave after a few days because she didn't feel comfortable about them being there. And a horrible case of possible child abuse in New Jersey. Police say 4 boys are in the hospital after being starved by their adoptive parents in Camden. New Jersey's governor says officials there are trying to figure out how a child welfare caseworker who visited that home did not detect what the governor calls atrocious conditions. The oldest of the boys, who's 19, was found weighing only 45 pounds. The parents are being held on aggravated assault and child endangerment charges. And in New Jersey as well, on this American Airlines plane, the baggage handler opened the cargo hold and found an alligator that had escaped from a crate. A spokesman for the airline says it was one of the 4 gators being shipped from Miami. The 4-foot-long alligator didn't pose much of a threat. It still had its mouth bound shut and was still in a burlap bag. I don't care. It's still scary to me. A local race car driver celebrating his championship, and the Rebels are looking to get back on the winning track. Dennis has that in sports. And let's take a look at another shot from Simi Valley, California tonight. We continue here at Action News to monitor these horrendous fires burning in Southern California. In addition to sports, a little bit later on, we'll update those fires for you right here on Action News. Stay with us.
Now, Dennis Evans with Channel 13 Action Sports.
Well, it's hard to believe just how far the Rebel football team has fallen in 3 weeks. As Paul Cicala reports, the free fall began with Air Force and kept right on going through Saturday's loss to BYU.
Down and 8. Need to get to the 14-yard line. This touchdown catch by Irvin Johnson with less than 5 minutes remaining seemed to seal up a victory for UNLV on Saturday. The Rebels were up by 7 and had all the momentum in the world. Problem is, there was still plenty of time for BYU to march down the field and tie the game up. And it's a touchdown.
You know, I thought we would make a play somewhere along the way, but we just didn't get it done.
Brigham Young quickly moved the ball 68 yards to tie the game with 29 seconds left in regulation.
You got to give them credit. They came back.
And in overtime, BYU continued its momentum with Matt Berry hitting Toby Christensen on a 9-yard pass.
You know, we just didn't do it. The things we needed to do to win, the in-breaking patterns, once they were behind, that got them down there, and they hit 2 or 3 of those in the overtime period, and we just didn't get those stopped.
We should have won that game. That's the game we definitely should have won. It's over with now. You know, we just have to pick up from here.
UNLV just couldn't move the ball in overtime as BYU D'd it up, increased his pressure on Kurt Nankes, and the Rebel quarterback couldn't complete a last-second prayer.
I mean, when we get the ball in that type of territory and do something with the ball, we got to turn it into 7.
They didn't, and now UNLV finds itself in last place and winless in conference play. And it's picked off! Paul Cicala, Channel 13 Action Sports.
Thank you, Paul. Call it a case of too little, too late. Just weeks after losing Game 7 of the ALCS to New York, Boston Red Sox are sending manager Grady Little packing this afternoon. The team announced that they're not going to pick up the option year on Little's contract. The Sox skipper, well, he took a lot of heat for failing to pull Pedro Martinez in that deciding Game 7. Team GM says it has a lot more than that to do with it. Anyway, congrats to Las Vegas native, their very own Paul Tracy. Actually, that's not him. That's the Marlins coming home. The Marlins are going to have a parade tomorrow. They won the World Series. You don't win it, you get fired. You win it, you get a parade. Pretty simple, isn't it? All right, let's talk some racing now. Now, congratulations to Paul Tracy. He won the CART 2003 championship. Tracy clinched the title at the Gold Coast Indy in Australia on Sunday. It took 13 years of racing, but the 34-year-old finally won his first Drivers' Championship. A record crowd of 108,000 saw the race. A few bumps and bad weather couldn't keep Tracy from the title. And it wasn't a win, but after a month-long stretch that saw Durango High grad Kurt Busch, he's had, well, just finishing the race felt good. A top 10 finish, well, that was great. Busch finished 8th at today's rain-delayed race down in Atlanta. 40 laps to go down in Atlanta at the Motor Speedway. Jeff Gordon took the lead. A little bit later, we'd hop on board with Ryan Newman. Dale Jr. got a little bit too close for comfort. Newman wasn't happy about it. Didn't matter. The race finished under caution, and Gordon with back-to-back wins. And Kurt Busch, he's had such a rough year. You know what? Finishing a race, it counts for something. So we'll give him credit just for crossing the line. And a top 10 finish.
All right, Dennis, thanks. We'll be right back. We'll also update the fires for you in just a minute. Stay with us. For many people in Southern California tonight, it is another frightening night because of that right there. You're looking at live pictures. This from Simi Valley, California. Just one of 9 fires that still continue to burn in Southern California tonight. Pushed by Santa Ana winds. So far, 15 people confirmed dead now. More than 1,100 homes have burned in the Southern California area. School closed San Bernardino tomorrow. Interstate 15 is open right now. We'll continue to monitor the fires in Southern California, bringing you the latest on Action News Live at 11 o'clock. We'll be back here, I guess it's just about an hour now, to update you on what's going on. We'll all be here right now on ABC News 1-hour special. It's called Fat Like Me, How to Win the Weight War. Again, we'll see you in about an hour, update the fire situation for you. Thanks for joining us on this Monday night. See you in a bit.